all Paul Butler's race to win. Carl Handwerk pushing Paul Butler to the win. Oh, they're side by side coming to win.
Oh no! Oh no!
Anthony Kieswetter is your winner.
Legs are tied, these hands are broken. Alone I try, with words unspoken. Silent cry, a breath is frozen. With blinded eyes, I fear myself. It's burning down, it's burning high. When ashes fall, the legends rise. We burn it out, a mile wide. When ashes fall, the legends rise. Throat is dry, my vision's fading. I'm paralyzed and left here waiting, taking time. Just one step forward, won't lose my mind. I'm here to stay. It's burning down, it's burning high. When ashes fall, the legends rise. We burn it out, a mile wide. When ashes fall, the legends rise. Whoa. Do something about it, or just stand there and bleed. It's burning down, it's burning high. When ashes fall, the legends rise. We burn it out, a mile wide. When ashes fall, the legends rise. Whoa. Legends rise.
I am Roland Johns. I am sim racing.
I'm Wes Fuller, driver of number 35, Stand Up to Cancer Ford. I am sim racing.
Hi, I'm Cameron Peterson. I am sim racing.
What's going on? It's Rob Biotti from 4i Racing, driver number 44 Toyota Camry, and I am sim racing.
Hello, I am Christopher Hamilton, and I am sim racing.
Hi, I'm Eric Andrews. I am sim racing.
We are sim racing.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Core Premier Series. Tonight, we are going to be at the Charlotte Roval racing the Daytona prototypes for 45 minutes. That is right, this is a 45-minute long race. We are going to have a small comp caution after 15 minutes, and after that, we're going to be pretty much just flying through. Some things to watch out for these guys driving tonight. This is going to be a afternoon to night race. That's right. So lights are going to come on. Track lights are going to come on. Car lights are going to stay on. It's going to get dark for these guys. They're going to have to, deal with the temperature change on their tires. But most importantly, we're not going to have any full field cautions unless something really bad happens on the track. It's going to stay local cautions. If these guys make a mistake, they have to get themselves back onto the track and get going. One faster pair only. These Daytona prototypes, for anyone that doesn't know, they don't handle the rumble strip. So right there, he just went through the first chicane. We'll stay with Michael Campbell right now as he goes into the second chicane. But on that first chicane, we'll see if we can point it out right now. When he enters, they have these kind of like blue bumpers. You hit those wrong, you're actually going to damage your engine. We're doing some test test sessions before this and practice, and you hit it too hard, and you can actually damage your engine to the point where you maybe can get about 10 more laps out of it, pushing it hard, and it's not going to be a fun ride afterwards. It's going to blow on you, or you're going to have to hit the pits and get a lot of damage repaired. So these guys need to be careful. These Daytona prototypes are pretty testy. They drive a little bit like the Dalars or Formula cars, but they don't have as much traction as I'm used to. They handle well under speed, but the moment you slow down, with no downforce on top of your or no downforce coming from the front, you're gonna have a hard time really kind of making some of those corners. So really slow is fast in this situation, and it really is. You need to kind of lift in some of these corners and just let it carry you through. That whole infield section we were pretty much doing in second gear. You really couldn't push it. That section, you have to hit the brakes pretty hard just to get out, and then as you go into the next chicane, same thing. You got to be able to hit the brakes, then downshift all the way into second gear, and that's usually where you're safe speed-wise. Is if you're half throttle second gear, you're okay entering and exiting a turn, but these cars get super tight. So just drivers need to be careful out there, and then just be aware that taking those corners is pretty deadly. With that being said, we have 7 minutes on qualifying right now. Everyone's hitting their qualifying laps. Let's go ahead and check in on Terry Condas. I was actually able to practice with him. He was kicking my butt out on the track, so let's see how he handles it right now. We'll go ahead and jump over to him and watch him for his qualifying lap. As you see, that chicane is deadly, but you can cut through it pretty fast. You just have to be right on point with your speed. This one, I always had a really hard time with that chicane. And then as we come into turn 1 again, you're going to actually deep brake and make a left-hand turn. Oh, carry it nice and clean. Sends it through. Looks like last time I was driving it, we didn't have as much grip on these tires. Terry's got pretty good traction. You can see he's staying around 90 miles an hour. A lot of these corners, when we were driving them, for my practice session, was about 60 to 70 miles an hour. So definitely track's a little bit warmer, a little tacky for these guys, and seems like they're handling it pretty well. Nice entrance in that uphill. Right there, that section that he just went over actually is a little bit of a bump, kind of like it's not Laguna Seca. I'm trying to think which track it is, but Nürburgring has one on one of their first exits or first turns to left hand. That bump right there, if you leave the gas going, you're gonna actually unhook your back tires. Same thing, I think it's Watkins Glen or Silverstone that has the same style of bump on the right hand turn. You gotta lift and let your car carry the weight through. Don't let your tires spin out on you. But definitely a good lap right there. Looks like he's running a 117, which is pretty decent. I know some of these guys actually got down to a 114. At least that's what they were saying. But a 117 is a good competitive time. All right, let's hop over to another driver. Derek Sherman out there in the number 20. Go ahead and do an in-car cam for you guys. You can see how much they're turning the wheel. Not too much because it responds very well, but he just finished it. All right, we'll hop over to, let's see, Nick Nickerson looks like he's out on the track. We'll hop over to him. Oh, he's just riding it on first. Nick might be also trying to burn off some fuel there. Interesting. Well, let's see if we have another driver that's pushing it. And look at that, Eric Andrews. Yep, there we go. So what you're going to see is these guys will get about 25 degrees of turn out of the steering wheel, and then anything more than that, unless you're on a high downforce situation where you're going pretty fast, you're really not going to have too much response from it. It's going to tighten up on you and send you out to the corner. So if it doesn't want to turn, honestly, the best thing to do for these guys is drag the brake a little bit and downshift, and that'll actually jerk the car to the right a little bit. So I noticed that you can go from third gear, probably about 2,000, 3,000 RPMs, downshift into second, and it won't unhook it, but it'll give you just enough of a pull to snag you around a corner if you're in dire needs. but it's usually for a right-handed pull. Always had a hard time turning to the lefts, but like right here, if you downshift, you can pop it a little farther to the right and kind of get yourself out clean. Eric Andrews hitting, let's see, they should be shooting up to about 160 before he hits the next chicane. There we go. Good entrance there, and throws down a 119.151. All right, so our lineup for tonight looks like, let's go ahead and look at our qualifying times and how these guys are doing out there. So Alan Dobbs sitting up in first with a 115.195. Carl Handwerk with a 115.670. Kevin Foster with a 115.993. Mason Smith with a 116.162. Michael Campbell, good to see him out here in the number 55. It's been a while. Hopefully, I believe this is actually one of his sponsored races too. I gotta ask him. Hopefully, we can pull him in the booth during one of the cautions. But Michael Campbell, his bread and butter is road courses and definitely some of these super speedways, or not super speedways, but some of these kind of Roval courses. So I'm curious to see how he does and how consistent he's going to be out on the track. But looks like he threw a 116.761. That's going to change a little bit when these guys get into the draft on the I guess oval section of the track. So it's going to be pretty interesting. Tim Thompson throwing down a 117.353. Terry Condas with a 117.365. Derek Sherman with a 118.095. Dalton Drummond with a 118.560. Eric Andrews with a 119.152. Dan Heisey with a 119.256. And Willie Evernham with a 119.852. Gregory Thompson with a 120.092. Matt Crockett with a 120.466. Wes Fuller with a 121.539. Alan Castle with a 122.486. And then just waiting on Dylan McDonald and Nick Nickerson to throw down their laps. Looks like Nick is finally getting into the groove of things. Let's go ahead and hop over to him. Throws down a 115.249, moving himself up in front of Carl Handwerk and taking second place. And you can see that, folks. It is already nighttime, and we just started qualifying. So we're going to be going from afternoon to night very fast. The track is going to change quite a bit for these guys as it starts to cool off throughout the night, and these tires get a little hot. So getting out there with a fresh set of tires is going to get a little tough. And Dylan McDonald still on the track. Had a 116 on this last lap. Can he push it and get a better one? So if you guys hear me talk about the uphill, that's going to be this section right here. The infield is what we just went through. And then we're going to have a chicane 1 and chicane 2. Chicane 1 is going to happen right on that first section of the oval, and then chicane 2 is after the oval. And it looks like we are getting ready for these guys to line up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank our sponsors for tonight for this series. That's going to be Mission Car Care, TechNet Professional, Your Buying Machine, Joka Graphics, and Southern Heart Creations. Also, huge shout out to broadcast sponsors. That's going to be Critical at Bass Lures and Southern California's Nautilus Media Systems. With that being said, let's see a good race tonight. I'm pretty sure these guys are going to put on a great show. We have a nice size field. I'm looking at, I want to say 17 drivers. I got to wait for it to take over for me. But it's going to be tough. I'm not going to lie. With 17 drivers, we're going to see some probably packs of 3 driving around. Maybe some guys pulling away in a solo run. But these cars draft really well. So on that oval section, we're going to see guys catching up to each other, getting into it on the chicane. They got to watch their braking points. And they do have brake lights, so that helps out a little bit. But some of these guys might be sending it in deep. I tested it myself. You can actually drive in on the inside of someone and pretty much deep brake and try and cross over on them on one of the chicanes. It's possible. It's a testy though, because you're pulling a little bit of chicken with the person on the outside of you. So we'll have to see what happens. All right, we are pacing out. Let's run through these cars real fast while they pace out. Starting off with Alan Dobbs up in front, running in that beautiful purple and black night sky. No 22 to be found though. We have Nick Nickerson behind him in the number 85 main performance. We have Terry Condas in the number 32 Martini. That's a cool paint scheme. Joshua Billiter running out through the number 3 Reese's. Dan Heisey with the number 87 VLR. Michael Campbell in that number 55 iRacing paint scheme. Wes Fuller in the number 35 Stamp to Cancer. Tim Thompson in the 05 Ford Power EcoBoost. Derek Sherman in the number 20 Flowtech. Carl Handwerk running the number 18 Core Racing paint scheme. Gregory Thompson in the number 08 Thrustmaster. Love those racing stripes. And the number 19 Willie Evernham in the Nosh Energy Drink and Logitech on the back. Oh yeah, it is the number 38 Kool-Aid Man of Dylan McDonald. We have the number 4 Monster Energy Drink. That's going to be Dalton Drummond's. Mason Smith running in the 555 Hellman's. And once again, Nick Nickerson. And Matt Crockett in the number 10 Alpine Star. And the Batmobile, that's going to be the number 9 of Eric Andrews. Kevin Foster running in the Sueño de Otso number 8. And Brandon Metler in the number 15. He just blinked out on me. We'll have to worry about that later. And last but not least, the number 39, Louisiana, Alan Castle. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going 3 wide. Let's go ahead and get that on the camera. 3 wide for all you guys out there is a salute to pretty much all the fans and drivers and everyone that, you know, helps out for these guys. It's a lot of work and it takes a lot of time. You know, these guys spend hours practicing each week, and they wouldn't be doing that without, you know, friends and family being able to help and support and let them do this. So, you know, that's for everyone out there. Thank you for all your love and support. And for everyone out there in the armed forces, we're, you know, like Dan Stein out there, you know, we support what you do, man. And we want you to come back safe, all right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready to go green. All right, pace car's off. Cue the music. And a little bit of an eager start there. That might cause a little bit of an accident, but it looks like everyone is able to make it out clean. Alan Dobbs taking the first run. Oh, Nick Nickerson with a nice crossover. Oh, Carl Handwerk spins it out. Let's see if we can see. He's still on there. Oh, we do have an obstacle out on the track. All right, ladies and gentlemen, looks like these guys are going to have to make it down. All right, up in front, Nick Nickerson able to get around Alan Dobbs. Got to catch up to these guys because they're going to run away from me. And they're hitting the oval section. Let's see, Kevin Foster right behind him, Mason Smith in tow as we get ready for the first chicane. Oh, looks like Kevin Foster overshooting the corner, not hitting his brake point. He's going to have to take a black flag on that one and slow down. Oh, same thing for the number 9 of Eric Andrews. Yeah, like I said, dude, these braking points are tough for a lot of these guys, especially when you have a pack and you have to adjust. All right, looks like Alan Dobbs, Nick Nickerson blowing through the chicane number 2, getting ready for the infield section. As they start to race down. Mason Smith in third. Oh, Michael Campbell and Terry Condas in tow. Look at that. as we shoot for the uphill. Michael Campbell doing a good job hitting his points. You can see right now he's not shooting out too far into that rumble strip out there, or that barrier line. Clean exit out to the wall. Everyone looks like they're making it out clean. Ooh, a little bit of a slap there. All right, up in front. Coming into chicane number 2, we're going to go ahead and ride through with these guys. Nick Nickerson, and looks like Alan Dobbs is behind him, but with quite a bit of a distance. Looks like he lost him there. Must have overshot one of the corners. And down the line we go. Mason Smith still trying to run these guys down. Honestly, right now, they need to make those first 15 minutes. They just... Oh. Looks like we're at interesting. I guess first 15 laps. But if you stay alive and you make it into those pits the first section without having to use a fast repair, you're setting yourself up for a good run afterwards. Alan Dobbs with a clean exit out of that corner. Let's go ahead and check in the back of the pack as these guys come out of the uphill climb into the oval section. Michael Campbell, Terry Condas. We're going to have Willie Evernham and Tim Thompson. Dalton Drummond's flying by. Wesley Fuller and Dylan McDonald. Looks like Carl Handwerk making his way up there. We'll go ahead and jump over to him. Looks like he was about to make a pass out in the field on Eric Andrews. And Dylan McDonald with a nice pass on the inside. Wes having to hold up. And looks like Carl Handwerk. Oh! Wes Fuller spins it out. Man, that is a tough one. Let's go ahead and ride along Dalton Drummond's as he goes around the track. Looks like he's hitting all his marks right now. He can tow it in just a little bit more for those corners, but it's a double apex. You got to be a little careful on that entrance, but maintaining his speed all the way through. Looks nice and clean. They're going to lift a little bit here. Brake just a tad bit. Maybe downshift if need be. Carry it through. Cut left. Off the gas just in case. And into the oval section where you can let her run. All right, back to the front. Nick Nickerson running down the field, keeping pace. Alan Dobbs behind him by 4.1 seconds. Then Mason Smith and Michael Campbell. These guys are going at it. Looks like Kevin Foster already down a lap. And look at that, Tim Thompson and Willie Evernham. Looks like we might see a pass come out between these two as they enter the infield and get ready for the uphill climb. Riding along with Tim Thompson right now. Ooh, almost overshoots that uphill. Sitting in second gear. And he's going to let it run. Now, these guys, if we ride along with them into the chicane section, there's going to be flags on the right-hand side, and usually flag 4, flag 3 is where you want to start braking. Looks like he braked at flag 3, a little bit of a deep send, just trying to make up some speed. Oh! Willie Evernham sends himself sideways. Nice call there by by Tim Thompson to just pretty much stay to the inside, try and avoid him and get back out. And looks like Terry Conda's also spun himself around, made a little bit of contact with the wall. It's going to be one of those tracks where it's inevitable. It really is. Terry Conda's with Dylan McDonald right behind him. He's looking for a pass. Terry looks like he's hitting his marks, but he overshot just a tad bit on that entrance. Then we have Willie Evernham and Carl Handwerk. Carl making a pass on Willie on the inside. As we enter into the first chicane, Tim Thompson up in front, trying to keep the speed. Terry Condas, Dylan McDonald, Carl Handwerk, and Willie Evernham passing through. This infield can be deadly. It is a make or break moment for a lot of these drivers. All right, look at that. Mason Smith making a pass around the number 87, who's a lap behind. Kevin Foster also in tow behind him. Mason Smith is sitting in third right now, doing a good job out there. All right, looks like he's coming up on the number 93 of Alan Castle. Goes for an outside pass. I believe he just cleared him nice and clean. Yep, that's correct. Alan's decided to stay down low. And here we go into chicane number 1. Clean entrance, clean exit. Gets up on the rumble strip just a tad bit. That's what you want to see. You want to cut that corner as tight as possible and to carry as much speed as possible through there. You don't want to be losing too much and oversteering. Those chicanes can really, really end your race if you oversteer into them and out of them. There you go. Chicane number 2. Oh, gets a little loose. Up in front, Michael Campbell. Oh, sorry, Michael Campbell running in behind Mason Smith, but with some drivers in front of him. Looking to do what he can on the road. All right, Nick Nickerson hitting the pits for the first time. Alan Dobbs right behind him. I guess they were not able to make it into the comp caution. Look at that, Mason Smith, Michael Campbell also entering into the pits. This might be a pit call for everyone out there. Tim Thompson also following in suit. Carl Handwerk doing the same. Willie Evernham hitting the pits. Yeah, it looks like everyone has run their course and is now in the pits. Looks like Nick Nickerson coming up on Alan Castle. He's got to look for a pass. Oh, no, sorry, that was Joshua Billiter. Joshua Billiter stays to the outside. Nick passes on the inside. Nick Nickerson with a dominating lead right now. I know I'm talking about him quite a bit, but he's got a really good lead right now, and it's going to be hard for Alan Dobbs and some of the other drivers to really try and catch up to him. Alan Dobbs is doing his best. He's closed the time from 4 seconds to a little under 3. All right, chicane number 1. Nick Nickerson, clean entrance and exit. Alan Dobbs a little bit rough on that entrance, but right behind him, and Wes Fuller also in tow. Third place, quite a bit of a distance back. We're looking at 24.2 seconds. Not much you can do to really make that up. Right now, it is a battle between first and second place, and these guys are not giving it up at all. As we pan through the field and check in on all the drivers, looks like Dylan McDonald and Willie Evernham might be getting into a pass or let pass situation. And there we go, Willie Evernham still able to fend off Dylan McDonald behind him. Nick Nickerson doing his best to stay up in front. Caution is out. Comp caution has dropped for these drivers. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what a 13 laps. What a 13-lap run. That was insane. So right now in our top 4 is going to be Nick Nickerson, Alan Dobbs, Michael Campbell, and Carl Handwerk. Let's go ahead and pull in Michael Campbell. We'll see if he wants to be in the booth while he's on under pace. Give him a quick shout and see how he's doing. Ladies and gentlemen, the number 55, Mike Campbell in the booth. It's been a while, but good to have you up here, man.
Hello, friend. How are you?
I'm doing good. How's the track treating you?
I love this place. This car is awesome. The track is awesome. I'm having a blast out here.
Yeah, I got to put some time down. Not on a night session, but I did about an hour and a half on a day session, and I am not the biggest fan of the prototypes, but wow, that is a fun track.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know what. I'm just having a blast driving these. I really don't ever drive them, but throwing it around Charlotte's been a blast so far.
It's like a mixture of having like a F1 mixed with like one of the supercars. Like it has, it doesn't steer as well as an F1 car, but it has the downforce and kind of like pushing, I guess maybe around the corner is the best way of saying. I don't know. It's the weight. It's got the weight.
It'll let you throw it in there a little bit too. Like if you know what you're doing, you can throw it into these corners and really get a nice deep entry.
That's what it is. You can do a deep entry, and then you can use your you can downshift into second gear like at like 2,000-3,000 RPMs, and you can use it to kind of hook you around a corner a little bit too without unhooking.
Oh yeah.
So
it's been a blast driving these things. I mean, this thing is fun around this track, and we got the track position for it, so can't complain.
Yeah, I know you're sitting in a P3 right now, which is a great position to be in. But
solid.
But what I'm kind of excited to see is how you guys are going to do under I guess more stressful situation when you start getting closer to the finish of the race and you guys are kind of jockeying for position. I know we stretched out quite a bit, but that was due to an accident in lap 1 with Carl Handwerk kind of spinning with his restack. How do you think that's going to affect everyone out there?
Well, I mean, again, we talked about earlier how these cars are really forgiving in terms of getting aggressive and just really throwing it in there. I feel like we're going to see maybe some close quarters racing, but as you probably experienced, the passing is not really there at this track. It's so hard to pass here in these cars. So you're going to see how much give and take everyone has. And I think, as you said, toward the end of the race, there's not going to be much give and a lot more take.
Yeah, the only time I really saw passing was was on the oval section into the chicanes. You could set up a pass there by deep braking or by kind of judging the other person. But you kind of have to play dirty too. I was messing around in an open session and I was blocking people into those chicanes. You can push people out of their braking line, and that's an easy way to to overtake someone.
You really can drive these things like a NASCAR stock car, getting really aggressive, kind of doing some pinching, but these cars are so fragile, they really can't take hits in the body like that. So you got to kind of, it's a balance there, definitely.
Yeah, you want to make the person not want to kind of cut in on their corner, but you don't want to get hit.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, man, it's good to see you back on the track. I'm glad you're having a lot of fun. I'm having fun watching these. It's a big track, so it's hard to keep track of everyone out there, but hopefully with this restack, we'll be able to watch these guys. I hope you do good out there, man. And
thank you.
I believe you sponsored this track too, right?
No, I did not. I sponsored the season opener here with the V8 Supercars. But I love the schedule worked out so I could come back here and actually race it, so I'm having a blast and enjoying it.
Beautiful. Well, man, keep up the good work, and good luck out there.
Thank you. Have a good broadcast, sir.
Will do. All right, ladies and gentlemen, looks like we're going to be going 1 to green. I did want to pull in one more driver, but like I said, they said they're 1 to green, so I don't want to disrupt anything that's going to happen out on the track right now. Up in front. So right now, the line is going to be Carl Handwerk, Nick Nickerson, Willie Evernham, Alan Dobbs, and Michael Campbell. Looks like Alan Castle's still up there. Interesting. I wonder why it hasn't paced out like that. I guess we're going to have to see what happens when these guys go across the... Oh, there we go. All right. Now we are 1 to green. There we go. And they're going to split up 2 wide. Ooh, that's going to be fun. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have a good shootout. Looks like Carl Handwerk and Nick Nickerson, Alan Dobbs right behind him, and Michael Campbell. Those are 4 guys on the road you do not want to have to fight with, especially for position. So this is going to be good. Also, for anyone that notices some of the flashing on the track, these guys actually can toggle their lights on and off. So you're seeing some of the drivers mess around with it. It's also another way of signaling a pass. If you're behind someone and they're a little slow and you're coming up on them pretty fast, you flash the lights at them. Just give them a quick heads up, like, hey, I'm trying to pass. And most of the time, people pull all the way and let you pass, unless they feel like they can still be competitive with you. Then they're going to stay in the racing line and maybe throw a block. All right, while we're getting ready, once again, I'd like to thank our series sponsors. That's going to be Southern Heart Creations, Joker Graphics, TechNet Professional, Your Buy Machine, and Mission Car Care. Also for our broadcast sponsors, that's going to be Critical Hit Bass Lures and Southern California's Nautilus Media Systems. And looks like we are getting ready to go green. Looks like these guys are slowing down just a tad bit. Nice, clean line by everyone out there. Once again, this is chicane number 1. I honestly think this is probably the easier chicane out of both of them. The second one is really, that's the one that bites the bullet for a lot of these guys. Just, if you don't brake it right, the car won't stop properly, and you have to make a quick right-hand turn. It's really deceiving, actually, because it looks deep, but it isn't. It's a deep and then almost like a hairpin style or 90-degree right-hand turn, so it's tough. The other chicane has a little bit of give. This one coming up here, and we are green flag. Nick Nickerson, Alan Dobbs. All right, is Carl going to make the same mistake as he did into turn 1? Nope. Oh, getting a little bumpy there, but all his tires stay connected to the ground and no spinning. Good run by the guys up in front. Working down the field, Alan Dobbs, Nick Nickerson, Kevin Foster, and the number 8. 8 on 8 right there. Gregory Thompson going to the inside of Kevin Foster. Keeps the speed out. Oh, able to rotate up, but Kevin should have a good run right about now. There we go. And on the exit, oh, Kevin Foster, can he cross over? Oh, Gregory Thompson hits the wall. Contacts with Terry Condas. And he is out of there. All right. First chicane. Carl Handwerk, oh, getting close to that wall. A little bit of a slap there. Terry Condas getting up on those bumpers. All right, looks like we have a clear entrance into turn 1. Nick Nickerson trying to run down Carl Handwerk right now. Go ahead and ride along with Nick Nickerson as he is in second place, looking for that proverbial pass around Carl Handwerk. It looks like Carl hitting up the brakes on that corner, tries to cut it short. Usually just need a lift for that section. Might just want to pull it a little tighter into that corner. And they are on the brakes. Downshifts into first. Looks like he wants a little more acceleration on that corner. These guys are flying through that section, 100 mile an hour plus. That is insane. It's kind of funny. These cars feel oddly deceiving. They feel like you're driving slow the whole time. They're so smooth, but you look at your speed limit and you're like, or you're looking at your dials down there, and you're doing 80 miles an hour around a corner. It's super deceiving. Still, Carl Handwerk not leaving an opening for Nick Nickerson. Nick, looking for that door. Ends up having to slow up. Rest of the field in tow, though, doing a good job out there. See right there, Carl playing kind of that mid to high line on the entrance. A little bit of defense, but looks like Nick Nickerson is going to get around him. Uh-oh. Something must have happened out there between those guys. Looks like they drove him down in the apron. Side by side, Alan Dobbs, Nick Nickerson getting a little rough with each other. Nick's going to go ahead and pull in front of him. Down into the infield we go. This is pretty much a one-lane highway down the infield. You're not really going to see any passing. It's kind of tight for these cars, and they're going to need to keep their speed, especially when they go to coast up that hill and then cross over. All right, up in front, Alan Dobbs, Nick Nickerson, Michael Campbell. Looks like Alan Dobbs has one goal, and that is to get around Nick Nickerson. He is running him down, but they did have some contact before, so that's definitely going to sour the pot just a tad bit. All right, as they go through, let's go ahead and check out the rest of the drivers coming down into the infield. Looks like Kevin Foster sitting in 4th place right now. Right behind him, Derek Sherman. Willie Evernham sitting in 6th. Coming down into the infield. You do not want to miss your marks right now. These prototypes are, it's pretty much a perfectionist race in the sense of you got to hit your marks every single time to keep the speed going through and nice and smooth. If you don't hit those marks, it's going to be a hell of a time just to keep her on the road. And Nick Nickerson, Alan Dobbs still going at it. Up in front. Michael Campbell in tow in 3rd, running about 5 seconds behind these guys. Gonna go ahead and ride along with Kevin Foster as he gets ready for a pass. Passing on the outside of the number 93, Alan Castle. Ladies and gentlemen, we are 15 laps to go. And First chicane completed. Sorry about that. A little over zoomed. All right, back up front. Alan Dobbs and Nick Nickerson still going at it, but it looks like Nick, man, he's kind of pulling away, but he's not. We're seeing him kind of float between 1.1 to 1.4. Pulling away from Alan Dobbs, but still, it looks like Alan's just having a hard time getting him back in. And then ever so slightly, Michael Campbell's been dropping about, it looks like 0.2 to 0.4 seconds a lap. All right, riding along with Terry Conda is the one-handed wonder in the number 32. Once again, just look at how hard these guys have to turn these cars to get around those corners. It literally looks like not much, but it's quite a bit in the sense of just keeping it nice and smooth, not letting your tires unhook on you. You know, these tires work great when they're not chirping. The moment they start to slide and chirp on you, they just want to go. There's so much horsepower to those tires, and just they lose grip almost instantly. Especially with no downforce and you're on a draft. Ooh, you're going to get tight real fast on those exits. All right, back up in front, Nick Nickerson, Michael Campbell. Looks like Alan Dobbs had an accident there. Let's go ahead and see if we can get that on a Critical Hit Bachelor's replay and see what happened. All right, looks like he actually hit into the pits. Thought that was an accident out there. I apologize for that, but looks like Nick Nickerson also hits the pits. So looks like these guys are 15 laps to go, hitting the pits, and out on the track, Alan Dobbs in second, but he should be pushing himself up into first right now. All right, Alan Dobbs, once again running in the number 22, is going to come up on some lap traffic up ahead. All right. Alan Dobbs still running behind Nick Nickerson. Nick with a great pit out there. But Alan Dobbs was able to close that gap just a tad bit. Now he's down to a 1.5, but still. Michael Campbell, getting a pass by Kevin Foster. Way to go, Kevin. Good moves out there. Looks like we might have a little bit of a battle in the back between Michael Campbell and Kevin Foster. And also, oh, nope, never mind. That's a lap behind driver. That's, I believe, Carl. Yep, Carl is a lap behind, trying to drive up behind Michael, behind Mike Campbell right now. Oh, and contact. Matt Crockett taking the inside, touches Michael Campbell, and sends himself a little bit spinning. Hopefully he can get back out on the track nice and clean. Looks like he overshot just a tad bit on that corner. Looks like Michael Campbell and Alan Dobbs are way ahead of the pack right now. Or sorry, not Michael. Nick Nickerson and Alan Dobbs up ahead of the pack by 24 seconds. Still running away with it. What a run. 10 laps to go. Once again, looks like Alan Dobbs still floating in that 1.2 to 1.4 second range, right behind Nick Nickerson. If he just can squeeze out a little more speed, he can definitely catch him. But Nick is hitting his marks almost every time, and so is Alan. So it's pretty much a neck-and-neck race, just time-wise for these guys. Still a good run by a lot of those drivers out on the track right now. Let's go ahead and kind of run through the field as we have Nick Nickerson up in front, Alan Dobbs right behind him. Looks like we just made a pass on the number 15 of Brendan Mettler, I believe, or that was Gregory Thompson. Kevin Foster running in third right now. Was able to get around Michael Campbell. Michael Campbell hot on toe, trying to get around him. Willie Evernham running in fifth place. Derek Sherman in sixth. Dylan McDonald in 7th, Tim Thompson in 8th, Carl Handwerk in 9th, Matt Crockett in 10th, 10 for 10 there, Matt. Mason Smith running in 11th, Terry Condas in 12th, Wes Fuller out in the track in 13th, Den Heisey in 14th, oh, looks like he's in the pits, and Alan Castle also in the pits. Alan Dobbs still trying to run down Nick Nickerson. Just no hope there right now. And there we go. Oh, out of the corner, Dylan McDonald hits the gas just a little too much and turns sideways. Oof. Ouch, that's going to cost him some positions. He is now a lap behind. All right, let's go ahead and roll through the back of the pack. Kevin Foster is still having to play defense against Michael Campbell, who is trying to catch him up as best as he can. Roughly about 7 laps to go. This is a timed event, so even though we show laps, there is time. And look at that. Still clean lines. Man, that is so hard to beat right now. We're looking at Alan Dobbs dropping back. Was a 1.2 distance between him and Nick Nickerson, and now we're looking at a 2.249. Whew. Somebody stop him. He is on fire right now. All right, driving along with Kevin Foster as he hits the second chicane, gets ready to make his left-hander into turn 1. Nick Nickerson up on front. Looks like we're on our final lap now as the time is counted off. This is it. For all the chips in the bag, Alan Dobbs needs to go after him as hard as he can. He can't let him run away from him now. Nick Nickerson up in front, holding on strong. Alan Dobbs trying to close that gap. He just went from a 2-second gap to a 1.115. Definitely picking up some speed there, trying to close it, but no dice. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. Nick Nickerson getting ready to make his way across the finish line. Second chicane. And we are finished for tonight's race. Nick Nickerson by a landslide up in front. Alan Dobbs behind him. And look at this. Kevin Foster out on the track. Let's see if anyone's behind him, trying to run him down. Nope, he is in the clear. This is his to win. As long as he doesn't wreck it out, he is good to go. Sounds like he is out of fuel. Kevin Foster coasting it across the finish line, snagging his third place finish. What a run. Ladies and gentlemen, our finishers for tonight are Nick Nickerson, Alan Dobbs, and Kevin Foster. That was an intense run for a lot of these drivers. Straight up green flag runs like that are very, very hard because the field stretches out. These guys have to work hard on kind of grouping themselves back together. Most of the time it doesn't work. They just got to keep driving and see what they can do. And that's definitely what happened. Let's go ahead and get these guys in the booth and let them talk on the podium. Ladies and gentlemen, the number 8 himself, Kevin Hollywood Foster, in the booth.
What's up, everybody?
Kevin, you had a really good run out there. Definitely made some good passes. It was honestly, this is one of those tracks that's kind of hard to keep up with because everyone spreads out and gets intermixed. But racing-wise, I think these are some of the best races for you guys out there because it really comes down to a little bit of pit strategy, racing against yourself and other drivers. And just trying to keep it as clean as possible and hitting all your marks and all these turns because it's definitely really tough out there.
It definitely is. I mean, it's just I ran through the chicane on the first lap.
I saw that.
and I had to come back in and do a 40-second hold. I got a lap down. Luckily I got a little bit of gas and I was able to make it to the caution there, thankfully. And I got my lap back there, and I drove my way up to the third place. The Suino de Azzo prototype here was really good, really fast, and I just want to thank everyone for supporting me. And I got my beautiful wife, my daughters downstairs, both watching tonight. And man, really awesome. Just so thankful.
Yeah, no, dude, that was probably some of the best driving I've seen out there, and a great recovery, to be honest. That blowing that first chicane is super tough. It's and then having to drive yourself all the way up is words cannot describe.
No words. I mean, who would have thought? Going from a lap down to finishing third with this group of guys. It says a lot, about the car, and I drove the heck out of it.
Oh yeah.
That last lap of the race, I had to get back up, and good points day, 0 incidents, and man, I can't wait. I'm just glad to be on Death by Moose here. That's all.
I'm glad to have you up in the booth, man. It's always a joy. I know you shouted out your family there. Do you have anyone else you want to shout out?
Just thanks to Jay for sponsoring the car in this series and the vintage series, and it's just a blessing, and I can't do it without everyone's support, and thanks for everyone for watching for Death by Moose Media, and we got one more tomorrow night.
You got it, man. Thank you, Kevin, and hopefully we'll see you in the podium booth tomorrow too.
Amen. Thank you.
You got it, man. Have a good night.
You too, buddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, the number 22, Alan Dobbs, our second place finisher. Technically, you could call him the 2-2-2-2. I believe that was 3 2s, 4 2s. Uh-oh, I mixed myself up. Sorry about that, Alan.
Too bad I couldn't put a 1 in there.
It happens, but you just wanted to go with triple twos. But in all honesty, that was a really good run. I know you and Nick got into it a little bit in kind of like both restarts, kind of going back and forth. It's really hard to catch someone on this track, especially if they're just a little bit faster on some of the corners. I saw you kind of
when they're driving perfect. I mean, I told him, I was like, can you just make one mistake?
Yeah, he was on fire.
Give me a door. He was. Great race. I mean, he definitely deserved to be the winner. He pretty much flawless. Like he'll probably say that it was rough and he made a lot of mistakes, but it didn't show up for the rest of it.
Right. Yeah, no, it was really it's after practicing with you for a little bit on this track, it really shows like how tough this track can be sometimes, where even though you want to try and pass someone, the opportunity closes so fast, and you're kind of, running the risk of driving yourself off track while trying to, make a pass on someone. But luckily, go ahead.
There's no doors. Unless they messed up, there's nowhere good. And on the very first start, I was hoping I could get out in front of him because I managed to get pole somehow. And but the daggum green flag comes out when I'm pinched in a corner. So
yeah, that was tough. That was weird.
Second place gets a good run.
Yeah, and first does not.
And then I had one more opportunity to pass him in that exact same corner.
Yeah.
And we doored each other.
Yeah, I was about to say, on that second restart, you guys kind of went into each other's doors side by side down that whole first left-hander into the infield.
Yeah, it was a good race. I mean, I tried to give it everything I had. I think I put the fastest lap of the race on the last lap there, trying to catch him, but it just wasn't enough when somebody's driving perfect.
Yeah, you actually did. You threw down a 114.513. And I saw that time change too. I was like, oh, he's throwing it down, but it just wasn't enough to close the gap.
No, and even if I'd have made it to him, I'd have had to wreck him. we probably maintained a better friendship since I didn't catch up to him.
Yeah, that's always a nice thing.
It was a good race, and congratulations to him, and good race to everybody.
Well, congratulations to you on second place, man. It's a tough track, and these Daytona prototypes are no joke. So you did a great job out there. You kept it smooth and easy, and that's what you got to do with these.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. Appreciate you having me.
Do you have anyone you want to shout out?
Oh, no, just all the guys that's racing tonight. You guys for putting it on. All my buddies that hang out with me every day racing. Thank everybody.
You got it, man. Well, I hope you have a good night, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You got it. Ladies and gentlemen, the number 85 himself. Wow, I am stumbling on stuff. The number 85 himself, Nick Nickerson, in the booth with a first place finish. Nick, like Alan said, you weren't making mistakes out there. Were you on autopilot? Like, what's going on? That was some flawless driving. A little aggressive too. I saw you get into the side of Alan Dobbs on a pass. You guys went door to door going down. Also, you and Carl kind of gotten into a little bit on one of those corners where you're going for a pass around him, and it looks like he maybe threw a little bit of a block, but definitely you squeezed by on him.
Yeah, I mean, this track just it's kind of a track I really like. Suits me well. I have a lot of laps on this, not this particular track, but the what it used to be, the old Charlotte Infield. So
okay,
it's just a lot of fun to me. Yeah, the little.
So you had a lot of muscle memory built up already.
Pretty much, yeah.
That definitely makes a difference.
These cars just kind of suit me very well. Just tons of fun to drive. Yeah, the little touch with Carl. I think he might have like scrubbed the wall and maybe slowed him down a little bit, and then I got into him trying to get to the outside.
Yeah,
I probably could have slowed down a little bit, but yeah, it was just a race to get in front of everybody. I didn't want anybody in front of me because it is kind of difficult to pass somebody that's on like your same speed.
Mm-hmm.
And with Carl, I knew that he was going to be pitting a couple laps, but I didn't want to get run down by Alan because Alan has shown to have some pretty decent speed.
Yeah,
and so he's something to worry about.
Yeah, even making some of those passes, you kind of had to drive a little bit of dirty, throw like pretty much keep the person in the outside line where they couldn't really cut in and use the full track to break into and kind of carry some speed through on those chicanes. At least that's where I saw passing was more advantageous, was on those chicanes. You could do it on the infield, but the infield the prototype gets too tight on some of those corners where you don't really have too much to move around with. At least, before the chicane, you can catch up to the person, you can get side by side and kind of just keep them on that outside line and give them a hard time trying to get into the chicane. But other than that, it's tough.
It is very tough. And that's why I battled to the death to make sure I stayed in front of Alan when he was coming.
Yeah, right? Oh, man.
And got a nice little swoop on him right on the start of the race.
Yeah.
Which surprise actually worked out.
Yeah, no, I saw that. That was a good move there.
But he did a good job of keeping me sweating the entire race. I was trying to save fuel because I didn't know how this was going to end, and fortunately I had just enough fuel. But I thought I was going to run out for a while, so I was like trying to save, but I didn't want to like get him into my draft at the same time, and it was kind of stressful.
Yeah, once you get into that draft, there's no letting go of this person unless they make a big mistake out there. You're not going to shake them.
Yeah, exactly, man. But all in all, it was definitely a fun race. I know a lot of people don't like this style of racing, but it's my favorite.
It's a completely different beast. It's not like the V8s. It's not like the F1 or Indy cars kind of style. It's like I was talking with Michael about. It's a little bit of both. You can drive the corners a little harder, but because they have a little more weight behind them, but they act a little bit like the F1 cars, where if you don't have downforce, you're not going to really turn too much.
Right. Yeah.
So it's
exactly.
It's really weird, but you can use them like the V8s where you can downshift and get it to like tug into a corner just a tad bit, just enough to kind of pull you around the corner with that downshift. But it's a different beast, but definitely really cool, and I really enjoy kind of watching you guys drive, and I enjoyed throwing some practice sessions down or a practice session down before the race.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I definitely appreciate that. Tons of fun, man. I have to give a shout out to Mason. I know his family's watching. Where he qualified fourth. Yeah, he qualified fourth. That's pretty damn fast for.
Oh yeah, and he did a good job trying to keep up with you guys for most of that race. I think the pitting is kind of what his downfall was coming into the full length of the race. Yeah,
in the rookie series you don't really pit. Even in the D series, I don't think you really even pit. So that's something he's gonna have to definitely work on.
That takes a lot of practice.
But, yeah, is that where he messed up? Pitting?
I believe it was pitting because his laps or his race looked pretty clean the whole way through. I think his pitting was kind of just a little. Let's see, 55 to pit stop. Yeah, his pit stops were about 18 seconds, where you guys are doing about 7 to 6.
Oh yeah, well he probably doesn't. Yeah, he probably
didn't check off tires and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think I only took tires once, and that was the beginning. So.
Oh, he said he was not pitting. Well, looking at his pit stop, where it said he stopped for 18 seconds, that definitely was probably where it was.
Yeah.
That first where everyone had to grab fuel. He probably
he just said he ran into the wall in the chicane. Yep, that'll happen.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Those turtles will get you.
Yeah, they will. Well, man, that was a really good race, and definitely enjoyed it. Hopefully we'll have another chance to come back to the Charlotte Roval. I think it's a great track. Charlotte.
I certainly hope so.
All the Charlotte tracks are awesome. The RC Legends, the RC Medium, Short, Roval, all of them are really fun. And,
it is. It's a fun little track.
It is. It's got a little bit of everything for everyone, and you can pretty much open up full bore at some portions of the track. So it's a blast.
Yeah, man, definitely is. Well, I'd just like to thank Carl for putting on the core series. I know he puts a lot of time and effort into it.
Mm-hmm.
Tons of fun, man. And thanks for putting on the broadcast. I always love watching it on my Mondays.
Thank you.
You do a damn good job.
I do what I can. I have luckily a really fun race to broadcast, and luckily I've been pretty lucky to get a lot of good leagues to broadcast for. So it makes it enjoyable when I have good leagues and good racing. So.
Yeah, man. Oh, it looks like I'll just give a shout out to Kevin, man. Christ, the third place finish.
I know. Yeah.
That's gonna be. How did he sneak that one off?
I think he was out of fuel because I saw him turn off his engine going across the line. Yeah.
Oh, he played that game.
Yeah, I think he played it close to the chest, but that's a smart move. Kevin's known to do that. He'll run you long. He'll play the long con and kind of just drive it out and see what happens.
That's why his nickname for me is a sleight of hands. He always has his little tricks.
He does, dude. That guy's sneaky.
Yeah.
In the best possible way.
Yep.
But great racing, man. I enjoyed tonight's race, and hopefully we'll see another one coming around. But with that being said, I'll see you tomorrow night for the Core Vintage Series, because that's going to be a good race.
Buddy.
And especially, it's going to be Labor Day. So for everyone out there that doesn't watch the Vintage Series, what's that? Sorry about that.
And be at Dover. And that is going to be very interesting. I think we're going to see some cars slap that wall, go into space.
Oh, yeah. So you guys don't have an excuse to not watch because it is Labor Day. So get on there and come watch. With that being said, once again, thank you, Nick. Thank you to everyone tuning in tonight. I'd like to thank our broadcast sponsors, Crickle Advanced Lures and Southern California's Nautilus Media Systems. Also to our series sponsors, that's going to be Southern Heart Creations, Joker Graphics, Your Buying Machine, TechNet Professionals, and also Mission Car Care. I hope everyone enjoyed tonight's race, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night in the Core Vintage Series. So go ahead and tune in and check it out.